Lanka, who just arrived, and we, on behalf of everybody, residents and directors of the Bhavana Society, I'd like to welcome all of you on this very auspicious occasion. We are going to have Pinda Party in 2 minutes. Since we are running out of time, we are not going to spend much time talking here this morning. We will do all the talking after eating. That is one of the major items. So these monks are here. We welcome all these monks. Came from Wheaton Buddhist Vihara, Washington Buddhist Vihara, and you are from Virginia Buddhist Vihara, and one came all the way from Sri Lanka. So we welcome all of them. And now please leave some space for us to walk, and then those who want to offer Pindapata could go outside and line up and ready for offering Pindapata. So after Dharana, we will have other major ceremony of today. Now, in order to save time, we will limit our talks. And thank you very much for your participation, and we see you in few minutes.
Arati.
Hi, how are you?
Me bedan dende.
Shani?
Oh yes, I got it. Oh, vegan. In the good in.
The mix what is the gold liquid here. I'm gold liquid.
Nice and warm, me want to hand that one.
Namide?
How am I? Okay. Okay, wait, you don't want to switch.
He was singing a song about my name.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, very good.
I'm not a good singer anyway. It's just a bit of
friends. As everybody knows, this is our special day of the year. This is Kthina Day. As you all know the significance, you all have come to participate in this special meritorious day. After lunch, Bhantaji is going to give the Dhamma talk, explaining the significance of Kthina. So now, we all monks, you all offered this dana to the Mahasangha. When you say Mahasangha, the Sangha not only here, those who were in the time of the Buddha, who are here in the world today, and who will be in the dispensation of the Buddha in the future. So you are offering this dana to the whole community of monks, community of the Sangha. Now, when you offer the dana in such a way, you all can acquire a great deal of merit. This is the wonderful opportunity for you all to share this merit with your dearly departed ones, and also the devotees. Now, let's all together offer this dana by reciting the stanza to the Mahasangha. Please repeat this stanza after me with joint palms. Please recite this. Imang Bhikkhaṃ Bhikkhu Saṅghassa Dema. Imang Bhikkhaṃ Bhikkhu Saṅghassa Dema. Imang Bhikkhaṃ Bhikkhu Saṅghassa Dema. Iccitaṃ Pattitaṃ Tuyam Ikkameva Samicchatu Sabbe Purantu Itta Saṅkappa Candho Pannarasi Yatha Ayurarogya Sampatti Sakka Sampatti Mevaca Ato Nibbana Sampatti Iminate Samicchatu. Tullu asin geyam sapuja patipati puja din lima biyogya ubhagya adudbhyanun bhamse udisa. Pradama katasuddhara sauddesika vasayam buddha puja patva tadanantaro sausilyadi amikipuna ganango palakshitau satruannamati sangaruannisei. Dampiligan nimen ladan laban lada siru muksala dharma prasama kutlokurat sangrapna nyukta indro pendra mahendra jante kara prajapatya di samasta divya samuhayata pimpan rakvase maitvetva. Tavadame pinna tunkare pītāmitar patam paramaramaniyo nivansari lapanātā kalmun lai satardiga patire anuvadura devnitar vikkasi satara pāyotpatti dukke katikisiyam kāle kvatna pamine. Īta vadhārma patum gattā ucātum mārājikētā vatrinse āme tuste nimmanati parnimitavatu vatti sankyāti sadīva lokyan nisapavidanāta me usasmanasati. मेरे श्लोक उपन कालक देवीं नम्य कलद दानादि उदस पुण्य क्रियावं सिद्ध कर्मिं अप्राप्त वासे कर्ण कल्य बुद्ध पसे उदमारा तन्मान सेलाविसिं निवेशन से पमिनवधारौ तुमु अमामह निवंसु अबोध कर गनी मठ भवांतर्गत पौले चिरुज्ञाति नतुर्मे सामतनाटम मेम दानानि संशयत्ते त्वेवा वासना वेवैसिता चित्त प्रीतियं युक्ता साधरसितिं पिं अनुमोदं व्ययुक्त्वे. So now we invite everybody to take lunch. Please take the lunch.
On behalf of everybody, you offer the Kthina, the rope to the Shani, and you decide, Imam, Kathina Ceromony, Diskutan Vasadena, Imam, Kathina Ceromony, Diskutan Vasadena, Imam, Kathina Ceromony, Diskutan Vasadena. Now, there are so many other offerings.
Now please take this rope.
And then,
Those who have take this rope first. Come down. As you take it. Is the bag I like take one to them. There's some tumors, that's what it is. And there were some more things. Chitra. And there's another special robe here. Anybody wants to come? Anybody has it here? Is it yours? You? Okay. You want to open it here? You can open it if you want it. All these are now already open. If you like, you can take one and open it as a size. All these are already open to the Mahasana. Okay? That's a symbol you can open on. Yes. You can come and open this now. Every month you can open it to the So please keep this now.
Okay. So please sit down. Now, people who invited the monks in this place to observe 3 months rainy season, 3 months ago. Now, today, they have prepared dana, food offerings, plus a robe which they want to offer to the Sangha as the Kathina robe. So they gave it to the Sangha. Now the Sangha members meet and discuss to decide to whom this robe should be given. It was brought here and offered to the Sangha. Not one single particular member of the Sangha is entitled to have it without the consent of other monks, other members of the Sangha. So now we are going to discuss among ourselves and decide to whom the robe should be offered. Those who have observed once a year, 3 bhikkhus, Shani still doesn't have a vote. He is not eligible to vote. So he will stay there and other 3 will meet and decide to whom the vote should be given.
We would like to offer this to Bhanteji. We both agree. Bhante Dhamma and me, we both agree to offer this to Bhanteji. Say sadhu.
Now it should be offered by saying that we offer to the Bhanteji. It is not officially offered. So to make it official, they have to recite in Pali a particular proposal, second, and make it official offering.
Thank you.
Sanghasa Kathina Dhammiko Kathina Thero Attatam Bhante Sangasa Katinam Dhamiko Katinattaru Anumodami Attatam Bhante Sangasa Katinam Dhamiko Katinattaru Anumodami.
Once again, venerable monks, dear friends, you have already witnessed little ceremony here. As I mentioned earlier, most of those who are coming to this place are quite familiar with our principles. That is, we normally don't announce names for very good reason. If we mention a list of names, if one name is missed, that person would be our adversary since then. So we don't want to make anybody disappointed, and therefore, and also, we like people to very honestly, sincerely contribute their whatever they can, material things, time, energy, and so on, with a very sincere, generous heart. When you do something with very honest, sincere way, normally you don't need a recognition. you know what you do. Don't let right hand know what the left hand does. That kind of principle we like to promote. And people coming here respect it, and they are very pleased even if you don't mention any names. A very devout group of meditators in Washington, Maryland area invited us to observe Vassar 3 months in July. And this is the end of it. And during this time, this group divided into 4. Each group came every week, every Saturday to offer dana. So they took turns to offer dana. And also they volunteered to donate robes and to offer Kthina robes. Kthina simply means a difficult robe that is made in a very special way. Making robe is a very special, and therefore it is difficult. And the robe is offered to bhikkhus, if there are bhikkhunis, to bhikkhunis who have observed the rainy season on the first full moon day of rainy season. This is the 6th. On the 18th we had the 6th full moon day of the rainy season. So, those who observe the rainy season on the first full moon day are entitled to receive Kthina robe. That is a qualification. During this time, if a monk broke the observance, he is not entitled to receive the Kthina robe. That is another condition. Thirdly, the robe should be made the same day. In the past, when people did not have facilities like today, still they made the robe the same day. Piece of cloth is offered to the community of Sangha by lay people. Members of the Sangha cuts it, marks it, cuts it, sew it, dye, dry, wear, and give a Dhamma talk the same day. All these things should be done the same day. That is another difficulty. If the weather is not favorable, drying the robe would be very difficult those days. They did not have washing machines in the Buddha's time. They had to dry in the sun. If there was no sun, if there was rainy season, does not end on the day the observance ends. Rainy season goes for another month, that is called Vassa, the Chivara Masa. Although Vassa's observance is over in 3 months, rainy season continues for another month or so. So making the robe and drying it, fulfilling all the requirements and offering would be difficult. That is another problem. And next thing is, the monastic directly should not get involved in making the robe. People, if they need their advice, the monks are supposed to give the advice. If they ask what kind of material should we use to make a robe and so forth, how to make the robe and so forth, the monks have right to tell them how to make a robe. If they offer a cloth, then monks make the robe. And if monks cannot make the robe, they can get the help of people who can make the robe. Another thing is, this is called Kthina, difficult robe. You see, when you offer robes to monastics on any other day, you don't perform this kind of ritual. In this appears to be ritual, but this ritual is very meaningful ritual. That is, the robe is given to the whole community of Sangha without mentioning anybody's name. People are not supposed to select the recipient. They simply offer it to the community of Sangha. Friends, offering things to the community of Sangha has been a very ancient tradition. Many people, especially Thero, the Buddhists, monks, Buddhist lay people, have been offering things to the whole community of Sangha. And it is considered to be more meritorious than offering things to an individual. Why is that? You know, Buddha has made this so profound, very deep, meaningful ritual. This appears to be ritual, but it has a very profound, deep meaning. In order to make the recipient's merit greater, or for recipient to the donor's merit to increase, this practice, this observance has been introduced. How can their merit increase? Because when you give something to an individual, you think of some kind of relationship with the individual, thinking that this is my mother, my brother, my mother's son, brother, my brother, or my son, or this monk is my friend. He comes from my village. He is such and such a person who has done some favor to me. So because of this relationship, because of this condition, you like to give to that particular person. That is less meritorious. When you give to the community, you don't know which monk to select. You don't know any monk, their name, their village, where they came from, how long they have been monks, their qualities, none of these things you know. Without considering all these different qualities or qualifications, you like to be anonymous. You also don't know the monks, recipients. You know, in some cases, I think it is occasionally practiced in Mahanama tradition as well, the monks go on alms round. When they go on alms round, they wear a hat with a wide brim. When they put on the hat, the donor coming to put little food into his alms bowl does not see the face of the monk. The monk does not see the face of the donor. So both happen anonymously. This anonymity in giving is considered to be very meritorious because you don't have those qualities that you expect. Similarly, therefore, when you offer this robe, this particular one, you gave it to the whole community of Sangha. Only one robe. Even in this place, if we had 10 months or 20 months observing the Vasa, still you are entitled to give, or you are supposed to give only one robe. How can 10 months wear one robe without having big fight? So, when one robe is given to the whole community of monks who observe what's in this place, all of them get together, just like we did here. And all of them discuss which monk should receive the robe. There are also qualities of the monk. If the monk's robe is very old, torn, packed up so many times, unwearable, he is candidate number one. He is the priority number one. Or if there is a monk who is senior most, he will be next priority. I happen to be one here. Oldest and senior. And today, like Santa Claus came to this place. Christmas came much earlier to us. So many things are here. Food and other various offerings. All this go along with the Kthina robe. One more thing. When a monk receives something, when he receives an offering from people, he is not qualified for any additional things. He just received it, that's it. But when a monk receives the robe, Kthina robe, he is entitled to have so many other privileges. One privilege is this: all these belong to me today. Not because I am greedy, but that is the additional privilege. The one who receives Kthina robe is entitled to have everything offered along with it. I am not going to use all of them anyway, but it is a privilege. Second privilege is, there are so many privileges. He can go from the monastery anytime without informing anybody in the monastery. I can slowly sneak out from this place without telling anybody. Normally we don't do that. But if I want, because I got the road today. Along with that I got this privilege. Also, what is called something called Gunartana. Gana in Sinhalese is got a very good term. People get angry, they say Ganala. but the word Gana is one thing, Gana is another. Gana is solid. Gana means anything less than 4. Any number less than 4 is called Gana. More than 4 is called Sangha. That is why when we have certain religious ceremonies, like to offer things for the whole community of Sangha, we have to have a 4 months. When somebody is receiving high ordination, there must be at least 4 monks. Or for bhikkhus, when they observe Uposatha on full moon days and new moon days, they have to be 4 months to perform Uposatha reciting Patimokkha. So, 4 is considered to be Sangha. Less than 4 is Gana. Now, a bhikkhu who received the Kathina robe is entitled to receive food for whole community of Sangha on behalf of all of them, even if there are 3 months. So many privileges are there. How this Vassa started, we all know the history of how Vassa started. Many a time, Buddha introduced rules and regulations for the monastics because the people's complaints. Certain things bhikkhus have been doing, and if nobody complains, nobody notices it, it will be ignored. Now, in the time of the Buddha, the very day Buddha gave his first sermon, it was rainy season came, they observed Vassa. And later on, there were so many monks in so many places, they did not observe Vassa. His first instruction was to go out and spread the Dhamma, teach the Dhamma, open the eyes of people who are blind to the truth. Telling them Dhamma, open their eyes to understand the truth. So these monks took it literally and traveled all over the country. So it went on for several years, almost 20 years. And even in rainy days, they traveled. Then the other sects of the other religious traditions, they began to complain because they, especially Jains, who were very strict about ahimsa, non-violence, they stayed indoors during the rainy season and noticed Buddhist monks traveling all over the country, even in the rainy season. In India, this is particularly very important for Indian life. In India, in summer, everything is dry. Trees are dry, there are not too many plants growing naturally. But when it starts raining, all the plants grow. New shoots coming out, sprouting seeds, and insects that had been hiding under the ground. They all come out, all over. So when these monks were traveling, they trampled on them and killed them. Secondly, the monks themselves got wet and got sick. And people began to complain, look at these monks, they are so greedy. Even in these rainy days, even animals take shelter, but these monks don't take any shelter. Even in rainy days, they are traveling. When this was brought to the Buddha's attention, Buddha introduced this rule of observing Vassa. And then 60 months, they observed Vassa, and they had so much love and respect for the Buddha that These 3 months observing Vassa was very torturous to them. They wanted to see the Buddha. And as soon as the Vassa period, 3 months was over, they went to see the Buddha. On the way they got wet, because rainy season was not over. When they went to see the Buddha in wet robes, Buddha asked bhikkhus, why did you come so in such a rain? They said, Venerable Sir, we cannot stay a day without seeing you. So we came to you. Then Buddha said, bhikkhus, in future, after observing 3 months was a period, wait for at least 1 more month until you get a new robe, so that you will have one additional robe. When other robes get wet, you will have a robe to wear, dry robe. See how compassionate Buddha was. And he introduced the monks to stay 1 more month to get a robe. Now, if a monk does not get a robe, if somebody does not volunteer, this monk, suppose he observed Vassa in a remote place, people are unaware of this tradition of offering robes. This particular monk, living in a remote place, has a right to go and seek for robe, look for robe, and people come to know that he is seeking robe, then they will make one for him. So that is how this robe offering, official offering, took place, started. During Vassa period, I am telling you the reason why this is difficult robe. During Vassa period, if monks continue to travel without returning to the place for a month or so, he is not entitled to receive Karma robe. However, during Vassa period, if there is an emergency, he must go for 6 days and 6 nights. 7th day, he should be returned to the place where he observed Vassa. A monk can observe Vassa only in one place, in the time of the Buddha. Not only today, even in the time of the Buddha, they were very cunning, very greedy monks. One monk called Upananda, is there Upananda here? Upananda is here. Upananda, he observed Vassa in one place. You can stay in 7 days in one place. No, you can go away only for 6 days and 7 days you must return. So this Upananda thought, it's a very good idea. I observe Vassa in several places. One place I can observe Vassa and leave my additional robe there to represent me. Go to another place, observe Vassa, leaves his umbrella there. Went to another place and observed Vassa and left his walking stick. Went to another place and observed Vassa, left his pair of slippers. Now, he kept moving from place to place because at the end he can get 4 robes, 4 cutting robes. So when this was brought to the Buddha's attention, Buddha said, monk, you are so greedy. This is not proper. This is most inappropriate for a monk. Observe Vassa only in one place. You are not supposed to. I am not supposed to receive another Kathina robe. This is the only one I can receive, this whole season. If I go to Washington Vihar and they offer Kathina robe, I cannot take it, cannot accept it, because I can accept only one robe during the whole year. So, however, during rainy season, if we want to travel, we can travel for 6 days, and there must be a very, very good reason. What are the good reasons? One, if the mother is sick, Buddha has given a very special place to the mother. If the mother is sick, monk must go. If the father is sick, monk must go. If a bhikkhu is going to be disrobed, he has some accusation, community has brought into their monk's court because he has some accusation, and if he is going to be disrobed, a monk who respects the Sangha, in order to protect the name of the Sangha, must go. And if this monk is innocent, this monk represent him and defend him. Tell people how innocent he is. For this reason he must go, and if he has to stay to persuade other monks that this monk is innocent, he can stay there for 6 days. If a bhikkhuni is going to disrobe, a bhikkhu must go. And if the bhikkhuni is innocent, the accusation is wrong, false accusation, then the bhikkhu must defend this bhikkhuni. If there is another samanera who is going to disrobe, he must go and try to persuade others to defend him if he is innocent. So, for this reason, monks can go. Or, if there is a schism, division among bhikkhus, suppose there is a community of bhikkhus living in certain area, for some reason, somebody brought some accusation against certain monks, and then among monks there is a dispute. The accusation, some support, some don't support. And in that case, in order to settle the dispute and bring the communities of monks together, a monk can go and support them. So this kind of emergency situation, one monk go. Another thing, there is somebody want to establish a sima. Establishing sima is a very, very powerful vinaya karma. And they don't have enough monks. So, if a monk has to go, if the establishment procedure, preparatory work and so forth is taking much time, he is supposed to stay there until it is over. Within 7 days, however, he must return. Or, if there is a big dispute between lay people and the monastics, in order to settle that dispute, the monk can go. If it requires him to stay there longer than 4 or 5 days, he can stay there for maximum 6 days. And then he can break his rule, his vassa, without a penalty, without an offense, under certain conditions. What are the conditions? When we observe the vassa in certain area, people cannot afford to support them. They don't have enough food. because of the famine, drought, flood, tsunami, some such disaster made it impossible for people to provide food to the monks. Then they can do. Also, if there is no medicine at all, when they are sick, they can go to another place to get medicine, breaking the vasya. If there is a danger of war, thugs, thieves, murderers, plunderers coming and destroying, attacking and plundering and robbing and so forth, they have to go, leave the place, because that threatens their life. And if there is no suitable person to attend to them, there has to be somebody to attend to the needs of these monks. If there is no one, they have to go, looking for a place where they find suitable support. And also, if the Sangha is going to be split, for some reason, the monk who is observing Vasya would not want to participate in the split, he can leave. So these are the reasons that the monks can break the precept and go away. And also there has to be suitable residence, suitable places to observe Vasya. If the place is unsuitable, like not enough shelter, enough protection, they must leave. Then, as I said, only when they observe the first Vasya, they can receive the robe. Then, during Vasya period, how should they spend their time? When they observe Vasya in one place, how should they spend their time? Observing Vasya, observing realization is beneficial to both the community of monks and as well as lay people. The benefit of the monks, for the monks, is that they have time to study sutras that they did not have time to study before. Certain things they have to, the kutis have to be repaired, because they have been traveling all 8 months of the year, so there is no time to repair their kutis. During Vasya period they stay and repair their kutis. For lay people, when monks go from house to house collecting food all their life, they don't have time to listen to Dhamma. The monks take transport, go to house, stand in front of house, receive little food, and then move on. And next village, and so forth. Nobody has time to talk to the monks, receive Dhamma instructions and listen to Dhamma talk. So lay people have time to listen to Dhamma talk. During rainy season, they all go to monasteries and monks will have time to teach Dhamma. And also monks are supposed to spend that time practicing something that they wanted to practice very seriously, but they did not have time to practice it. They also must decide to have discussion. Even the monks, although they are traveling here and there, they occasionally meet, but they didn't have time to talk to each other, discuss Dhamma among themselves. There are 10 kinds of talk they can talk or use during Vasya period. One is talking about what you call appicha katha. Kathina is talking about wanting little. Monks, when they get together, they should not discuss how to get this, how to get that, where to go to get this, who we ask to give us this and that. Not that. They must discuss how to cut down our consumption, how to cut down our ways of using things, how to make our life simple, less using very, very bare minimum things. They must talk about that without jeopardizing their health, jeopardizing their living, practice, and so forth. They must discuss how to minimize their requirements. And they discuss how to be content. Santutti gata. Santutti means contentment. And Buddha says, Santutti paramandhana. The greatest wealth is satisfaction, contentment. Monastic life will be destroyed if they are not content, if they are too greedy. So monks must discuss that. And when they get together, they must discuss how to be secluded, how to live in solitude, not there are two words, solitary life and solitude. Solitude is more superior than solitary life. What is the difference? Solitary is just being somewhere without other human being, but the person is not very happy. Why? The person has gone with a companion. Person appears to be one, but that person has a companion. What is the companion? Greed. Greed is the companion. Hatred is the companion. Fear is the companion. So, when the monks get together, they must discuss how to live without a companion. That means how to live a life of solitude. Solitude means living without greed, hatred, and delusion. Buddha talked very highly of solitude. There are 4 discourses in Majjhima Nikaya called Bhatteka Sutta. If you like to read Pali, translation, books, in Majjhima Nikaya, please read this sutta, Bhatteka Sutta. And there is a book, little book, published by Venerable Jnanananda, Katugurunde Jnanananda. That book is called Ideal Solitude. Read that little booklet to see what kind of peace, comfort, pleasure, joy we enjoy when we even have the idea. Even if you don't live solitude in solitude, but the idea itself is so pleasing to our mind. Try to read that. And this is the thing that we are supposed to discuss during Vasa period. And then learn how to be with people like the moon. Venerable Mahakashyapa is known for his life of solitude. Mahakashyapa lived in the forest. 1 month who observed all the 13 austere practices called Dhutanga. And it is said that he moves with people among people like the moon. That means he shines his blessings upon people without burdening people, without demanding on people for needs and so forth, without mingling with them, attending to their secular things. So we must discuss that. And talk about how to be energetic. Energetic does not mean doing something physical energy. How to arouse our inner mental energy to practice Dhamma, to practice meditation, to teach Dhamma, learn Dhamma. We have to have a lot of energy. Talk about that. Then we talk about morality, concentration, wisdom, liberation on suffering. These are the topics we are supposed to talk on, in addition to various other things. So, this can go on and on for long periods of time. I don't want to bore you out with all these nitty-gritty things about vasa and the benefit of receiving robes and so forth. I wanted to point out why it is so difficult, why we call offering robe is difficult, because you can do it only once. In one temple, only one monk can receive it, and the monk also has to be qualified to receive it, and therefore it is considered to be very difficult robe. Now, when you offer something, the giver receives merits. We always talk about it. Giver receives merits. But here, even the recipient receives merits. Additional, as I mentioned, some benefits. Therefore, this is a very special offering, and we have all of you have witnessed the procedure and some advantage, benefit, and after receiving the robe, so I received the robe, I want to share my joy of receiving robes with everybody else. So I said, Attatangavso Kthina, Dhammiko Kthina Thero, Attatangavso Sangha Kthina, Dhammiko Kthina Thero, Anumodata. I said, Bhikkhus, venerable monks, or my brother monks, I received a robe belonging to the community of Sangha. Attatangavso Sangha Kthina. Sangha Kthina means the robe, Kthina robe belonging to the whole community of Sangha. I received it. And therefore, please rejoice in my receiving the robe. Anumodata, please rejoice in receiving the robe. Then each and every one of them, according to their seniority, said, yes, Venerable Sir, you received the robe belonging to the Sangha, and we rejoice in your pleasure of receiving the robe. That means they gave their consent with great pleasure for me to wear the robe. So this is the only robe that the recipient can use with the consent of other brother monks who observe the Vasa together. And therefore, in any respect, when you look at it from any angle, the Kthina robe is something very, very special robe. And therefore, friends, in order to conclude this remark from Kthina, I must say that you all have participated in this offering, and all of you are shareholders of these merits. Especially people who invited us to observe Vasa. These 3 months, they live in Maryland, Virginia, Washington, Baltimore area. And during these 3 months, they made very special effort to come to this place and look at us, asking us what we need. And even these lights they offered. This new light, it is that group offered this new light. So they have made many more sacrifices during these 3 months, in addition to offering dana of cooked food and other material things. And therefore, we, on behalf of all our members of the Sangha, we want to share our merits with them for making our life comfortable during these 3 months. However, I also have to, in our Western tradition, we have to say thank you. In our tradition, we say, please share my merits. So, I do both. Please share my other merits and thank you for making this ceremony so beautiful, making our life so comfortable during these 3 months. And may you all others, every one of you, came and offered your time, energy, money, service, skill, and so many things to make this like this. This, it would not have been like this if not for your very kind, generous support. For that, I thank you very much. And you should be very happy whenever you come here. The place is here. Place is here not because of us. Place is here because of you. So when you come here, your place is here. And thank you very much. May you all live in peace, harmony, and good health. May you all attain full liberation from suffering and attain enlightenment. And also I must thank our brother monks. They came from Beaton Temple, headed by our venerable Thero and Masaro is from Vietnamese temple. Virginia temple. And from all of you are present in Vietnam temple, 5 of you. And other 2 monks from Washington, Mahanama, and left. So, on behalf of our monastic community and the board of directors and members, I'd like to thank you all for coming and participating in this ceremony. We want to share our knowledge with you in reciting one stanza and video. Sabbhikyo vajantu sarvalogo yasati nate bhavatvantarayo sukhiti vajiko bhava vivane sivissa nityam vaddapachayino chattaro dhamma vaddanti ayuvanno sukham bhalan Mangalam Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Buddha Nuhamena Sada Sukti Bhavantu Te Mangalam Rakhantu Sabba Devata Sabba Dhamma Nuhamena Sada Sukti Bhavantu Te very hard, and our activity coordinator who did a lot of work to make these activities successful, and without their support, this ceremony couldn't have been this successful. So I thank all our Bhavana monastic members and lay communities and everybody else. Thank you very much.